My name is Nicole Kempson, and I am in the Instructional Technology Master's Program at Kennesaw State University. Today, I will talk to you about my Capstone project, which is called Integrating Technology into an Earth Science Class. The problem some teachers face is how to incorporate technology into their classroom so that it's effective, authentic, and students are able to use it, not just the teacher. The teachers were told that the students needed to increase their technology use and that we had adopted the BYOD to the school. The teachers were never trained on how to use iPads, nor were many aware of the different apps that they could use to enhance the classroom experience. This came about due to a lack of teachers allowing the students to use technology, and because the educators were using it, they thought that was sufficient enough. The principal wrote a grant for 3 iPad carts, which would suit 30 students per class. I have noticed that many times educators want to use technology, but they don't know how. And they are also afraid that the students may misuse the technology resources. Students also have more access to technology, however, they don't know how to use it to gain knowledge in their education. I use technology in my class, and my goal was to use a blended model with my students. Because of the various levels of technology the teachers had, I also felt it was useful to have a website dedicated for any tools that the teachers received on a professional development. The plan was if the teachers were taught more than how to use technology, but also how to locate resources, it would make them more comfortable and they would use it more. I sent a survey out to the staff to find out their technology needs. This link takes you to the survey, and here are the questions the staffs responded to. How many years of experience do you have in education? What is your age range? In my profession, I use as much technology as I would like. How often do you allow your students to use technology? How comfortable are you with technology integration? What type of professional development in technology would be beneficial to you? What type of technology is available to you? Are you able to troubleshoot basic technology? And describe the positive experiences you have had with technology. My capstone focused on actually implementing these tools in the classroom and then training the teachers on how to use the same tools and resources in their classroom to give the students more real-world situations and real-life connections. In order to complete the plan, I began with incorporating Twitter and Facebook. I led a professional development on how to use these tools in the class. I promoted these tools on my class blog for exposure and to make parents aware with notices I sent home with each student. I created a website for teachers to provide support and resources along with frequently asked questions. On the website, which correlated with my professional development, for teachers, it instructs teachers on how to use their document camera for a flipped classroom, Class Dojo, a way to monitor students' behavior, share classes and communicate with parents and students, instruct teachers on how to use their websites and blogs to extend their classroom and professional developments on how to use data and CTLS for assessing students, collecting data, and monitor growth. For the evaluation plan, I created a website based on the PDs I held for my staff. Here you will see how each section is broken down by the PD itself, along with tools and videos they can refer to again. The website is entitled Teachers, Technology, and Training. Each section has an agenda, handouts, evaluation, follow-ups, and videos. The responses received were not what was expected. Although having the questionnaire helped what pinpointing the needs of the staff were, the biggest obstacle came with finding time and willing participants who could meet during their planning before or after school in order to deliver the training. The interdisciplinary team was able to meet and willing to work partly because they were separated from the rest of the school. The new teachers were interested and made time for the PD sessions, whereas the veteran teachers may have been interested but were already overwhelmed and felt as if they did not have enough time to go to the trainings, and they did not want them to interfere with their before or after school activities. After each PD, they were able to complete a survey to tell about their experience and give feedback on what went well and how I can improve each session. The capstone began with implementing Twitter and Facebook into my earth science class as an extension of what the students were learning in class and trying to connect them to real-world situations. In previous years, students have been requesting that teachers connect to social media to discuss what they were learning and wanted to find ways to connect teachers with teachers outside the classroom. So I created a Facebook and Twitter page specifically for those earth science students and parents to follow and connect with. Before implementing these social media platforms, boundaries had to be put in place so that when it was introduced to the students and parents, they were advised that I would not follow them so they could still keep their private life separate from school. I also address what are appropriate responses to discussions, how to use hashtags, which hashtags to use, how to gain knowledge from this experience, and a letter that listed the accounts to follow. It started out with Twitter discussions and tweeting out student responses to questions where they were only allowed to use 140 characters. It was decided that the consistent hashtag that would be used is hashtag LSGA Earth Science to connect with each other. Information was posted on my website so that the students could link to it from there. The next goal was to create a website specifically for educators that provided them with ongoing support and information for the tools that they could be using in their classroom. The website was created through Weebly and named Teachers, Technology, and Training. It covered 4 sections: RecordX, Class Dojo, social media, and websites and blogs. The interdisciplinary team decided to use Class Dojo because of its features and being able to communicate with the parents and students. It is confidential, easy to use, and the teachers were able to use their phones to keep up with the information. In order to get all the students to sign up, they were given an incentive, and the team had at least 80% of the students to sign up. This was a success. The teachers loved being able to communicate with parents through an app. They could use it at home without logging into the computer. They all came up with their own positive and negative behaviors, so it would be the same across the board, and the kids enjoyed monitoring their behavior since they were working toward a prize. All the teachers felt that this was the most beneficial training, and this platform was simple and easy to use. The PD held on how to build website and blogs covered information on EduBlogs, Weebly, and OnCourse blog. Lindley 6th Grade Academy requires that teachers have a blog or website that is to be updated weekly. Educators like to have the option to choose, so I felt it was more beneficial to tell them the difference between a blog and website so they could make a more informed decision. Most teachers chose to have a Weebly account because it was friendlier and they had an option for a blog within the website. A few teachers went with EduBlogs because it was familiar to them and they had used it in the past. But what I noticed is that most teachers who were not that familiar with technology chose to use OnCourse as it was an extension of our lesson plans. Working with the teachers as a whole group and then again individually for them to touch up their sites as needed was greatly appreciated. Since this was a mandatory school requirement, every educator in the building had a website or blog and they were all fully functional. The Recordex session allowed the teachers to be active, engaged, and it was more beneficial to their classroom. As a coach, you have to understand there will be times when teachers may not come to you for support. So it's imperative that you follow up with them because they may feel like they don't have enough time or want to appear bothersome. And the teachers appreciate it when you seek them to follow up. Once the teachers were familiar with the basic tools, they were shown other ways to enhance their lesson with Recordex. The participants seemed to have a positive experience. Many were excited to learn how to record video to upload to their website so they could post lectures and examples online. Being the science coordinator, I lead meetings, and part of the meetings entail discussing data. Cobb County School District uses CTLS, or Cobb Teaching and Learning System, as a way to measure data from students and enable students to perform at its highest achievement levels. Educators are able to monitor a student's progress, compare it with others in the class, school, and district based on the questions. During each meeting, the teachers discuss how important it was to give a pre-test and post-test to measure the student's growth. Sharing strategies and tools can help other educators who may not be able to get the growth they want from their students. As a group, we came up with our SMART goals: specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and timely, as they knew what they wanted the students to do, working with the end in mind. Teachers use data daily. However, the difference with this design is that it brings structure and teachers are able to track the goals and objectives. This tool is also mandatory. Use it to show they are monitoring their students' progress. This is a continuous process that they will use throughout the school year. After implementing the Capstone project, I feel that I have the capability and knowledge to not only implement technology into my classroom, but to assist my coworkers with effectively managing and teaching them on how to successfully implement technology and use data in their classrooms as well. Sending out surveys to see what areas teacher needed assistance with gave them a voice and a way to find support for their class. Having PD sessions that allow the educators to be hands-on proved more effective than the ones that were not able to be done at the school. Throughout the trainings, teachers were able to give feedback, which helped with continued support after the PD sessions were over. The feedback from the teachers were used to improve each session and provide continued support. Lindley 6th Grade Academy has moved to a PLC, Professional Learning Community, which makes it easier to share knowledge with each other and give educators a voice in what they want to see in their school to help students be more successful. My principal has allowed me to mentor and become the science coordinator based on the plans I have implemented into my classroom, as well as the support I have given throughout the school year. The staff members who are a part of the professional development sessions were very pleased and eager to try out these new ideas, and feedback was positive because it was content that they were able to choose. The best thing teachers need to have is the question answered: why am I doing this, and how does this benefit me and my students? Once you get support from willing participants, they share their new knowledge and it makes others want to be a part of it as well.